Alright, so they have the little content break there for Total War. Warhammer 3 has ended, and I was not expecting this. I am very disheveled. I am in the middle of getting my sleep schedule worked out. Honestly, I'll just be straight up about this. This is not going to be entirely pure raw reaction. I watched, I think, like half of this without even thinking. And so the first 4 minutes of this, up until like they start getting a bit more into the diplomacy stuff, is not going to be new to me. I just watched it a couple seconds ago. Wasn't until I got to that point that I was like, oh, I should record this. That would be something you should put up on your YouTube channel, asshole. Sorry about there not being much stuff on the channel. I know I said I'd make more stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I guess this is what you get with a casual side project YouTuber. Like me belching on recording like that. Sorry. Whatever. Fuck it. Let's just go. Cathay, let's play. Gonna be definitely more analysis than reaction, though I don't have very good reactions, nor am I the most in-depth analyzer.
The celestial dragon emperor and his children.
I'm just gonna ignore Mr. Tough Guy announcer voice, Mr. Trailer Man.
In the northern
provinces,
Miao Ying, the storm
should probably also say the resolution on what I'm watching is not going to be that good, because I am trying to save on data because of the situation I've got using the internet right now, where I am right now.
Task is to
so that's why the resolution is a bit crap. Either which way, all this is like not too terribly surprising stuff. We've already seen plenty of battle footage. It's nice seeing a Cathay map. Cathay looks nice. Very I did notice that Miao Ying seems to have a very strong
and superior ranged capabilities. The rebels are easily dispatched and subsequently executed.
Like OP, but like it seems very strong.
The only way through the Bastion is 3 key gates.
The Great Bastion starts out
when
cracked open, which
come,
I like.
It's these locations
Cathay a little bit more chaos they actually have to deal with early on. I was kind of
worried.
I'm a little bit worried. Like, Total War, sometimes things don't work out like they should. Sometimes the player just ends up focusing on things that are a bit more advantageous to them.
But first,
I was a little bit worried that, you know, playing Cathay in Total War Warhammer 3 would not actually feel like playing Cathay as it should. But just let the wall sit. Chaos will ignore it because auto-resolve says they can't beat it. While you just go around and sweep through the rest of Cathay,
we'll need to pay close attention to our harmony. We'll build a labor.
Notice this. This is that's where quests are now. Okay, that's probably a better spot to have them than before.
Conscription Bureau and the conscription
we are seeing some nice little minor locations of Cathay. I'm liking seeing that. There's the mines of Nanyang over there, and in a little bit, Shrine of the Alchemist.
Rivals discovered in the west.
Later on, he's going to go. The Let's Player's going to go and fight in the Terracotta Graveyard, a location I'm hoping gets more war with the old world stuff, because that sounds
corruption, bolstering defense, and decreasing our
enemies' movement. They did go a little bit over Harmony, or they're about to in a second.
Whilst we were distracted with internal affairs.
And Harmony seems interesting. I worry that it's going to be the kind of mechanic of Legend
to face them head on before more conflict is had. We want additional funds to maintain our growing army.
But it could be interesting. And here's this. So this, it's a bit hard to tell because the map is just so fucked up for this game. But nonetheless, it looks like we got routes going from all the way from the west into presumably what is Kislev, because Talia and the Kislevite city of Prague, I think, are both supposed to be... Sorry for rubbing my eyes and shit, I'm just a little bit tired. All those cities should be well connected to Cathay, so they're kind of representing that there. And you get little ogre caravan guards, which I think is a nice touch. But I noticed that there are routes going south instead of west. And End is not happening by this point. I think when Crave Assembly says there are no plans for End or Nippon, then they mean what they meant when they said there are no plans for Araby, which is, it ain't happening. Which makes me sad, because I really wanted End and Nippon, and I really wanted Araby. But Araby eventually got a lot of love from the Old versus New Lost Factions team. So, End and Nippon, I don't think Crave Assembly is ever going to give any real love to, but the modders might be able to carry it.
We'll dispatch a caravan to trade with distant cultures.
Shattered Stone Bay. There we go. Yeah, I brought it down here. Shattered Stone Bay. I assume that's in the southern Darklands, but that could be interesting if it's actually pushing into End.
Caravans come with plenty of risk, but the potential rewards are more than worth it. With our army
Total War
bolstered
Troy
and extra
mythos
funds
expedition
incoming, we'll assault
mechanic,
the
which
invaders,
I'm
driving
fine
them
with because
away.
the expedition seemed cool as far as
We'll
I got into them.
colonize Snakegate, ensuring that future
I mean, someone who put
invasions
more
are
time
not
to Troy
so
than I
easy.
did could probably speak
Here
up
we
and say
turn
like,
the
"Oh, no, actually,
unknown
our
to our
mechanic was
true
shit."
purpose,
But
the
I haven't
unyielding
seen it
protection
yet.
of Grand
Any instance
Cathay.
of it being shit. Oh, hey, that's a Norseman shaman. I just noticed that. Hang on, let's go back.
The unyielding protection of Grand.
It's kind of hard to tell with how low I've got the resolution. That's Stonehenge right there, but there's a Norscan shaman. What the hell's he doing so far east? I thought that the Hung and the Kurgan would just be Chaos Warriors. Because, I mean, the Dreaded Woe were just Chaos Warriors, and the little Kairos Fate Weaver log we got. Weird.
Grand Cathay. To aid in our defense of the Bastion,
so here we go,
we'll
Lucian
align
War
the
Compass,
Lucian
nothing new
compass to
here.
match our current
I mean, some of the
goals.
numbers might have
Each of the
changed
four
since the war,
directions
not
offer
since the,
powerful
log,
incentives,
but I
but
doubt
our
that
army
really
has suffered
matters.
from recent
Doesn't care.
conflicts. We'll turn the compass northwest to hasten
Doesn't
their
really
recovery.
care. English.
We'll also set the Western Great Bastion's commandment to the Bastion Restored for the added casualty replenishment rate.
I hope the commandments do matter on Bastion.
Turmoil.
Okay, this. So yeah, this is just straight up the caravan. Well, not caravan. Of course it's the caravan mechanic. This is just straight up the Mythos expedition mechanic. And here you get to choose between fighting the army yourself, which when it's just Noblars and Ochre Man-Eaters, like, come on. Or sacrificing one of your units. So, that's interesting to see. I like it.
As our caravan is ambushed and held under threat of violence, we'll refuse to negotiate
And then
with
they're
ogres
going
and
to
order
cut
the
to
caravan
a
to
little
protect
bit
itself.
of the old
Move in
slapdash
harmony,
fighting.
and we shall prevail.
I like the mountains more and more every time I see them. At first I wasn't so big because it looked like they were just more of the World's Edge Mountains, but they seem to have a bit more of a unique
Ogres
taste to them.
may be a hardy enemy,
Which I'm happy
but
about.
we've managed to cut the assaulting lord off from the bulk of his forces. Some
Boy, can't see
focused
shit with
pressure,
resolution.
and we soon
Sorry
have
guys,
the upper
just
hand.
gotta say preserve on the data sometimes. It's hard. Can't do much about it really. What is that? Hang on. What's that? We boosted up to a high resolution just for a little bit. Hopefully it won't kill me. Oh, that must be experience. That must be experience for the Lord. Interesting. That's probably good for guys like Legend who focus so much on grinding up the Lord and hero levels. But it's neat to see a little bit of it.
There remains an insidious enemy within the Bastion, one we weren't confident enough to confront until now. The foul architect
I'm
of
liking
fate
the look
holds
of Cathay from the
terracotta
campaign map
graveyard,
so far,
and
I
whilst
gotta
this
say.
threat remains,
The terracotta
Bastion
sentinels
is
left
still
all over the
weakened.
place, especially
We'll
near the
entrust
north, because
Snakegate's defense to a
that's
reliable
where
general
the Dragon
and
Emperor
move
would have
south
left a
to
lot of them in his early
exterminate the
days.
demon
And I like how
threat.
the Zinj city looks all fucked up and it's spreading that weird magic shit everywhere.
Master of Tempest.
And this Cathay Minor Settlement map looks pretty rad. I'm really liking the Minor Settlement maps.
On the settlement,
It's going to be such a big change from where minor settlements were nothing
we
in
thwart
Warhammer
attempts
1
to
and
flank
Warhammer
us
2
and soon
to
overpower the demons
being actually
with
like not only very nice to
superior
look at,
melee
but also seemingly being enough defense that, you know, the garrison that sits there won't be that terrible.
They will perish.
Meow Ying's
The
voice
forces
acting
of
is-
chaos fight to the last.
It's not terrible,
but are broken against the
but
might
it's
of
a
the
little
storm
bit
dragon.
awkward with the delivery sometimes.
To maintain the security of Grand Cathay.
Burning Wind Nomads. I just now noticed that. There's going to be a lot of lore coming from these various factions.
We'll need a strong
I can just
relationship
smell
with
it.
the
So here's
enemy.
the thing, right? Settlement, trading, thank God. Oh man, I have been waiting for that for a good while. Everyone knows at some point in Warhammer 2, virtually every campaign, if you have any allies, anyone you want to get along with, anyone you don't want to conquer and kill at some point during the campaign, it's guaranteed they're going to snipe a settlement or two away from someone that you were just about to conquer. And you end up with border gore because, hey, I like Bretonia, and they just took a minor settlement in Stirland, and I don't want to fight them over it. So, shit, I guess Bretonia just has Flensburg for the rest of the campaign. And now you can deal with it by just paying for it. And, conversely, you can sell settlements to allies, which could be very nice, especially because there's sometimes where the allies of yours do not have settlements you prefer that they keep. Like, let's say, you get sick of Mousillon conquering half of Bretonnia as Karl Franz, because Karl Franz is the most generic guy available, just for examples. So you ship on over and you take out Mousillon and you give all the settlements he took back to good old Lewin. And you can get him to pay you for it too. It's just a really nice feature, and I'm really glad it's finally in.
Imperial Wardens, so we broker a deal. In exchange for the newly
and
liberated graveyard,
Okay, this is the other thing should be mentioned. Is the, well, the YouTube bar's in the way here. The numeric values for diplomacy. Oh, thank God. Diplomacy in Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 is god-awful, and that's one of the big reasons why, because you can't tell what the AI actually wants most of the time. And a lot of times it seems like just about any offer you can think of that you would want out of the AI, they will not give you it if you offer them your fucking firstborn. So having some idea of, like, what they actually want, what they hold in high opinion, and how close you are to actually getting what you want out of them is really nice. And 70,000 gold is a lot of money to have for this early in the campaign. Damn.
demand a military alliance.
And now here's the other one. Now that you signed an alliance, this is the point where I had to stop watching on my little phone over there because I started seeing some of this stuff. Now let me just boost the resolution. Fuck it. Data be damned. Mike can kill me if he wants. Next time I won't be able to play Dead by Daylight. The war cooperation mechanic. So, okay, let's see what this is. War coordination, excuse me. So, right away we see the set target thing, which is the classic war coordination thing for Total War. Select a target, set a enemy settlement as a target, and the AI will generally try to prioritize it over other targets. The AI is kind of inconsistent about doing it. They behave a lot better if you pump a lot of money into them, but most players aren't going to know that, and they aren't going to do that intuitively. So I'm really glad they're implementing other options there. There's also this allegiance thing. I don't remember if that stat was there in 3K or Troy. I feel like it was there in Three Kingdoms. Either which way, it's good to have that so the AI, there's an actual logical thing of, well, the AI is not going to do your bidding unless you prove that you're a good ally. So I like that that's there a lot, especially if it's a resource that can be spent on things.
The entire Bastion.
Outpost. Construct, upgrade, or move an outpost to recruit some of your allies. You're fucking serious? Construct, upgrade, or move an outpost to recruit some of your allies' units. You're serious?
But for now, we'll lend our aid to Turtlegate with the construction of an outpost to bolster the gate's defense.
Hold on, back that shit up.
To Turtlegate with the construction of an outpost to bolster the...
Hang on, we're gonna have to put this shit in slow-mo, baby. Slow that shit down. Way down. And just mute it, because I know it's gonna make the weird noises while it does it. Okay. 3,000 gold to construct an outpost, and it takes 3 turns time. And you get the ability... So do you just get the ability to build it in their settlements or in your own? Hang on. Wait for it. Construct an outpost in this settlement. This will provide recruitment of the listed units from your allies using allegiance and will provide the settlement's garrison with additional units. Huh. So... Well, they leave it ambiguous. Is it just where you can set up, like... Okay, what I'm confused about here... It looks for a moment like it would be like, oh, if I'm Karl Franz and I have a really strong alliance with Lewin, then I'd be able to recruit Knights Errant and Knights of the Realm. I have to assume that's not the case because that would be really unbalanced, even though it would be really cool. Because it's an alliance being made between Cathay and Cathay, it's difficult to tell. Because it could just be make an outpost in an allied settlement and you gain the ability to recruit some of your own units there. Which would be just like global recruitment, but like, I guess saving on time? It'd be kind of weird. Not only that, there are some races that were specifically built not to have global recruitment. Like Norska is built to not have global recruitment, at least until you pick up a ton of capitals. Dark Elves are built not to have global recruitment because of the Black Arcs. So... The addition of units to the garrison is nice, though if it's just adding... If it's the ability to add your own units to someone else's garrison, that seems nice, though... people, the average player isn't going to want to help the AI much. I mean, let's be honest here. Most players, especially in strategy games, are going to play selfish. They're not going to want to help the AI. So if that is the case, excuse me, that'd be a bit strange. So let's go ahead and turn off slow-mo here. Normal. And let's unmute it so I can hear what the guy's saying, because now he might be saying important stuff. God forbid.
The gate's defenses. Something is brewing in the Chaos Wastes, all signs pointing towards an impending attack.
Okay, so there will just guaranteed be a Chaos attack on the Great Bastion every now and then. That's good, because otherwise, like I guarantee, players will either ignore the Great Bastion, or if they are caring about the Great Bastion, they will immediately haul ass out of the Great Bastion and wipe out the entirety of the Chaos Worshippers in the Chaos Wastes. So it's good there's some kind of mechanic like that, as the Wood Elves have. There we go.
We'll continue to monitor the situation and build our defenses in preparation.
I will not tolerate sloth.
The Celestial Loyalists are under attack from within. An
Slaanesh and Cathay? Weird.
army of Slaanesh's demons summoned by decadent cultists. Their settlement is besieged.
The geography of this region is awesome. I'm a big fan of the stone forests. I think that's what they're called, stone forests?
So we commit ourselves to our allies' defense.
We've really got to see, like, very little Slaanesh. Especially with the Slaanesh coming at the very end of the revealed races, and there being the whole thing of the blog guy quitting and all that, or getting fired. I don't know what happened. What's up with this harmony stuff? So ordinarily Cathay units have a little harmony icon, and it's like black harmony or white harmony. But these guys have like gold harmony. What's that mean? Weird.
With poor ranged capabilities and no opportunity to flank, Slaanesh's demons are forced to attempt a full frontal assault, to a disastrous outcome. Slaanesh's forces are a trifling thing this time, and they're easily dealt with. But whilst we were distracted,
Okay, I don't see any new information here.
a Tzeentch host amassed outside of Snakegate. The Changer of Ways is making his move. The journey across Cathay is long, but we arrive in time to face the demons. Kairos Fateweaver marches on Snakegate, intent on breaching.
I'm just stuck on the Outpost thing. I'm seeing colors flash before my eyes, but I ain't thinking anything except Outposts, because Outposts could be such a tremendous change if they do let you recruit units from the allied faction, because that would be a damn strong motivator to actually get alliances, because ordinarily players avoid those things and see them as weighing you down. So if it does let you, say, recruit Bretonnian units as the Empire, or recruit Dwarf units as the High Elves, that could be pretty nuts.
The Bastion and
Probably not,
laying
though.
waste to Cathay beyond.
It's probably just a weird roundabout way of offering an alternative for global recruitment.
The ruinous powers knock upon our gates, but these guests are not welcome! Send
There's
them
quest
from our
battles.
threshold with the steel in your hands and in your hearts.
That's a quest battle. Okay. Channel
We
magic.
arrange our
What the hell?
defenses, focusing our ranged units on the
Is that just
walls
the
and
old
preparing our
Randall
fallback
gambling
points.
Wait. You can actually build before you start battles? Huh. I mean, it still makes sense to delay the battle as much as possible once you start the battle, just to build up extra resources, but
Our hope is
Man,
to
I'm
end the
excited to get
battle
to
at the
grips
outer
with
wall,
this siege system.
but we're ready to
I'm
fight
sure
in the
it'll have
streets
problems,
if we
but
must.
I'm excited to get to it. Okay, so the gates are pretty well old Warhammer 2 siege battles. Okay, I see. I guess that makes sense. Old Warhammer 2 siege battles are rather unpleasant for the environment.
Execute them!
I mean, they're not great for the defender either. They're not great for anybody. But
Crossbowman! Warrior crossbow!
Chi spells bombard our defenders relentlessly, extracting a terrible toll. But despite Kairos Fateweaver's magical prowess, he cannot stand against the might of the Storm Dragon.
Oh, Cathay! Defenders of Cathay!
The invasion is repelled. The Great Bastion still stands, and the northern province's continued survival is ensured. For now. But where we set our eyes northward,
Not a whole
we
lot of
failed to
exciting
monitor
stuff.
the situation to the west. Whilst our back was turned, invaders from the Mountains of Morn annihilated the Dissenter Lords of Jin Shin. The dwindling taste of victory turns sour as Miao Ying realizes bitterly that her campaign to protect Cathay has only just begun.
Alright, so there was one really big bit. Well, there was actually something I saw earlier. Let me go back to it. Hang on. There we go, I think. Nope, that's not it. Fuck. They're about something. The really biggest news is the diplomacy stuff.
Remains the Bastion
Settlement trading, as well as possibly outposts. Outposts could be nothing. Like I was saying earlier, there's a decent chance that it's just an alternative to... Okay, now I can see that. Okay. So, you can not only see how much supplies a settlement has built up, but also every time that you wait to try and wait out the battle, they build up supplies. Okay. Oh, that's more motivation not to siege. Ugh. Because going for the long siege is already kind of bad in Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, because the longer you wait to siege, the more likely it is the AI is going to pull another army out of their ass and come and lift the siege. I don't think they really needed something else to demotivate you from doing that. At the same time, it could be like, one thing, Total War Troy does something different. It makes it where the sieging army still replenishes while sieging. And that's a big bonus to doing the long siege. So, we'll see how it works out. But yeah, the most important stuff is, settlement trading, and then the outposts mechanic, whatever it may do. To recruit some of your construct, upgrade, or move an outpost to recruit some of your allies' units. Huh. Well, that makes it sound like you can recruit units from the other races. Okay, so it sounds to me like the system is you build an outpost in a friendly settlement, and some of your units get put in their garrison, and in exchange, if you take your army near that settlement, you get to recruit some of that race's units, which is a very, very good motivation to pursue alliances. Because that can be really strong. I mean, that's not only just fun, because, I mean, who hasn't thought it would be cool to go and make a mixed army of men, elves, and dwarfs, right? I mean, that's part of the appeal to some of the mods, like the old Sam's Marienburg mod about 3 or 4 years ago that's now being revived by Chaos Roby as part of Old versus New, was like, oh, build a mixed race roster. The Halflings army list that's in OVN is similarly fun in that way. So, that's just fun outright, but it also big change from a balance perspective. Because that means, like, you can cover for the weakness you may have, any weaknesses in your army's roster. I mean, dwarfs with cavalry. We saw that a little bit already with the Ogre Mercenaries mechanic in Warhammer 2. Because dwarfs, their weakness always was no monsters, no cavalry. If they recruit Ogre Mercenaries, they get monsters and cavalry. Vampire counts, no missile units, unless they recruit man-eaters with pistols. So this is a further extension of that. Vampire counts, if you successfully pitch an alliance with like Ostermark early in the game, you can get a proper vampire count army with crossbowmen and handgunners and cannons, which is a massive change. They make it sound like you're going to spend a unique resource, that allegiance stuff, but that still just sounds like an entirely new option. I assume this allegiance thing will be made up, like, you earn allegiance points, I'll guess, by taking out settlements of their enemies. That'd be a nice bit of encouragement. Or lifting sieges they're under. All of that would be very cool. That's really nice. That's just sweet. I gotta say, like, that is a completely unexpected, like, this isn't, okay. So what I was really hoping for with the diplomacy rework was, for one thing, I was hoping for settlement trading, which we got. Holy fucking Luya. But the other thing I was hoping for was my pop filter may be blocking my voice a little bit. Boy, that'd be joyful if I lost this entire video because of that. But the other thing I was hoping for was the coalition system from Three Kingdoms and the alliance system from Three Kingdoms, where you'd have multiple faction alliances and coalitions. And it doesn't look like we're getting that. Which I understand because Warhammer 2 and subsequently Warhammer 3 are built on a very different idea of alliances. But this is still a completely unexpected present. I was not expecting them to make the alliance system better in other ways like this. But this is a much bigger motivation to pitch an alliance than setting a war coordination target. And I assume that this request army feature and the ally missions feature, which is blocked off by this text box, are, I assume, going to be also pretty strong. Because if request army is what I'm thinking it is, if it's like where you can spend allegiance points and money to get a, like, army of high elves or whatever for like 10 turns that you can just use, that'd be really nice. That'd be a really strong encouragement to get alliances. And come to think of it, this would all be really strong for Slaanesh, because Slaanesh's thing is supposed to be that she gets really strong diplomacy. Which means if Slaanesh can recruit units from just about everybody with enough diplomacy work, that'd be a strong encouragement to play Slaanesh. This is really exciting. It should go without saying, I put 2,500 hours into Warhammer 2, but I am very excited to get to grips with Warhammer 3. And sorry again that I haven't been making that many videos lately. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you later.